Hello everybody and welcome to Dante Armorous Gaming. So first up today is AMD's RX 580 2048 SP and how disgraceful this launch is. First thing I want to point out is that this release was done in secret and it's only available in China, so we won't see these anywhere else in the world. And it's just a refresh of the RX 570, so if I bring this on over, as you can see, this is Dataland's RX 580 2048 SP. And we've seen things like this before, so if we look back on Nvidia's GT 1030 and Intel's 8th gen core processors being released is a 9th gen core, just with added boosts and clocks and frequencies, then you can't really class it as a new product, because all they're doing is taking an old product and pre-overclocking it, ready for the market and branding it as something else, which is just disgraceful and it's misleading to the buyers. And I just think it's a dark path to take. If you haven't got something, don't take an old product, refresh it, brand it as something new and then ship it out when it's not. And like I said, I've pulled Intel up on this before, and I've been classed as a shill for AMD. Well, no. I want to bring you guys what I find this end, and seeing things like this really does annoy me. So here's, obviously, like I said, the Dataland RX 580 2048 SP in China. And we're going to have a look at the differences between the RX 580 2048, the RX 570 and the RX 580. So the RX 570 to the RX 580 SP, or SP stands for AMD's Stream processors. The difference is nothing at all, and it only has a slight overclock on the boost clock, basically, of about 40 megahertz. So if I run down here, here's the RX 570, here's the RX 580 2048 SP. Base frequency on both of them are 1168 megahertz. The Radeon RX 570 is up to 1244 megahertz, whereas the 2048 SP is 1284 megahertz. So there's just a 40 megahertz increase on boost clock. That is it, no difference. Same architecture, same amount of stream processors, same amount of ROPs, transistor counts, texture units, texture fill rate, max performance, and compute units. That is it. That is the only difference, is just the boost megahertz of 40. Nothing else. And the RX 580 2048 SP to the RX 580, the actual RX 580, which is, I believe, Polaris 30, so a different architecture, just. And we see a lot of differences. So, for instance, the base frequency difference between the 2048 SP and the RX 580 is 89 megahertz. The boost frequency is 56 megahertz. The stream processing units are 256, and the texture fill rates are 16. So there is a difference between the 2048 SP and the RX 580. But all the RX 580 2048 SP is a 570 on steroids. That's it, nothing else. So can they really class it as a new GPU? No. All they've gone and done is got the RX 570, refreshed it, added a 40 megahertz overclock to the boost, and gone, there you go, you've got an RX 580 2048 SP. Why? Why do this, AMD? You were doing so well. Look at your CPUs, your marketing for Ryzen and Threadripper, absolutely amazing. You've taken the market. You're starting to come back into play, and then you go and do something as stupid as this. And I just don't get it. I can understand from a point of view that Nvidia have brought out their RTX cards, so you need to release something into the market to be able to compete. But don't go and refresh something and then release it as something new when it's not. And again, if you look at Intel, they, like I said, they did the same 8th gen to 9th gen, Coffee Lake, and and all they've done is gone, well, we'll take the 8th gen, we'll refresh it a little, class it's the 9th gen and release it. And yeah, there's news all over. So that was from Fudzilla. Hexus is saying the same thing. You know, there's a better look at the card itself. These little Dataland rings in the middle here do light up, so you get RGB with it at least. But for what it is, why? And again, just don't get it. So another thing I want to talk about is Intel's Comet Lake-s desktop CPUs that are rumoured to support up to 10 cores. So if we jump on over here, again this is from Hexus, so I'm kind of staying with the same data that I'm getting here, and rumours emanating from the Far East indicate that Intel is preparing a 10 core 20 thread mainstream desktop CPU, and this is going to sort of collide, or the anticipation is going to be against AMD's launching of Zen 2. So this is where that's coming out. And yeah, Comet Lake-s processors will be manufactured on the 14nm++, so no real difference in architecture here either. Still going with 14nm, just adding a plus to it. And yeah, it's going to be sort of top end. So as I said, 10 cores, sorry, 20 threads. And yeah, so the only issue I can see with this, and something that is noted in Hexus here, is that the i9-9900K suffers with its thermal performance, and I think this is also going to really suffer, and they need to do something to get those thermals under control. But it's going to be nice to see. Also, Lenovo for their laptops have said that they are going to basically be introducing some new processors, the i7-9550U or an i7-8565, a couple of another 4 processors here really for their new laptops, which is going to be quite interesting, and we're hopefully going to see these debut in Q2 of 2019. And yeah, we're going to be looking at hopefully seeing these new desktop CPUs, or the Comet Lake-s desktop CPU from Intel, coincide with Zen 2 from AMD. And where is it? Here you go. So obviously the 10nm process, as we know, has been quite slow. So if I jump on over, that Intel are trying to produce the 10nm, it's been a bit slow. They haven't got as much stock as they would like. And here's your Coffee Lake, as I said. Oh, no, get rid of that. There you go, Coffee Lake there. And then obviously here's Comet Lake. So like I said, 10 cores, 20 threads. 14nm++, DDR4, TDPs were yet to be confirmed, Thunderbolt yes, and obviously desktop LGA, and we're going to be seeing those, as I said, 2019. Intel Ice Lake platform, this is their 10nm processor that they are working on, which is being very slow. We're going to see that in 2020, and again, nothing as of yet confirmed on that. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for coming along. If you did like the video, it was only a short one, but please do give me a thumbs up. Please do hit that subscribe button, click that bell icon, and I shall see you all in the next video.